Hey everybody, I just filmed the entire first half of my video and my camera crashed, so that was fun. But hey, what's up? I know my hair is big, it holds a bunch of secrets. I'm like Regina George. Anyways, today we're going to talk about Matt Rife. So if you don't know who he is a stand-up comedian. He's been doing it for like 12 years, and I've seen him on TikTok. You might have seen him there, on Instagram or something like that. You know, he would pop up on my page every so often, and his jokes were funny sometimes. I'd be like, ha, okay, that was a cool joke. But now he's getting canceled, because nowadays comedians can't say anything. You know, God forbid they get up there on the stage and make a racist joke or be misogynistic or hate LGBT people. Comedy is dead. I'm just joking, by the way. This reminds me of the Roseanne special when she got really angry. Her special was horrible. In my opinion, Matt Rife's Netflix special was shit. And a lot of his audience, most of his audience are women, which is why this entire thing is ironic. He actually opens up his special with a domestic violence joke, which I will show you in a second.
I've only been to Baltimore one time. I ate lunch there, and the hostess who seats you at the restaurant had a black eye. A full black eye. And it wasn't like, what happened? Yeah, it was pretty obvious what happened. And we couldn't get over the fact that we were like, this is the face of the company? Like, this is what you have greeting people? And my boy who I was with was like, yeah, I feel bad for her, man. I feel like they should put her in the kitchen or something where nobody has to see her face, you know? And I was like, yeah, but I feel like if she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye. Testing the water, seeing if y'all are gonna be fun or not. Just wanted to see. I figured we start the show with domestic violence. The rest of the show should be pretty smooth sailing after that.
So now think about that. His biggest audience is women, and he opens up his comedy special with a domestic violence joke. You see, there is a fine line in comedy. There are things that you can talk about that are fucked up but are also funny, but there's things that you can talk about that are just plain fucked up and not funny at all. Maybe that would have been funny in 1940, or possibly if the audience was just Donald Trump. So then you have people saying comedy is dead, comedians can't make jokes about anything anymore. It's like, no, you could just recognize a bad joke for being a bad joke. Oh, sorry, we're later in the video and you're going to be able to tell by the lighting, but what I wanted to actually say about this joke is it's different if you're making a joke about your own abuse, because people find comfort in making jokes about their traumas or abuses or whatever. It's different when you're talking about something that's not your experience, right? And this is like where the fine line can get. So if I went up on stage and made a joke and I was like, yeah, I was dating this girl once and she slapped me so hard in the face, now I have TMJ. That would be me using I've dated abusive people and taking that from my own experience and putting it out on stage. It might be uncomfortable for some people, but for others it's funny. Like Pete Davidson, he jokes about 9/11 and stuff. That's his own trauma, but he can joke about it because of his dad and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and I forgot to mention this. Okay, so he also posted this. I'm just gonna let you watch this TikTok. Here you go.
Matt Rife is facing backlash over a joke he made about domestic violence.
If she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye.
Responding to the criticism he posted on Instagram, if you've ever been offended by a joke I've told, here's a link to my official apology. However, fans became more enraged when the link sent them to a website selling helmets for people with special needs.
You could have used a Rickroll thing and you used helmets for special needs people. It's like, I feel like we're in middle school again. It's like, that kid has Down syndrome. That's so funny. For me personally, I started to create a bias against Matt Rife when he posted this thingy.
I started working out way after I was doing stand-up. I've been doing stand-up for about 12 years now. Yeah, a little over 12 years now. I will say I don't think it helps you by any means. I mean, people don't want to laugh at physically attractive people. You don't want to walk on stage and have people looking at your arms rather than listening to your jokes. I think it just makes me work that much harder on the material and the jokes that I'm trying to tell to get people to focus on the real show at hand.
Now I looked at him and he's an okay looking dude. I thought he looked like a Big Mouth character, so I don't really know where he got all of that from. And actually something big that Matt Rife does in his comedy is mess with the audience. They go back and forth a lot, which I think is really low hanging fruit. I feel like you would be, if you're a good comedian, then you would be able to do away with that. Yeah, sure, throw it in there sometimes, but a lot of the clips that I would see of him were just him going back and forth with his audience watching. And now he couldn't do that in the Netflix special, which is why I think it was fucking terrible. And once you finally reach a specific amount of following, there's this point where you think that you're invincible or whatever. But that is not the only thing that he did wrong in a special. He seems really mad at women this entire time. So after the black eye joke, he starts talking about women in astrology, zodiac signs, and crystals, and how they're into that bullshit, and how it doesn't really mean anything, and essentially that women are stupid for believing in that stuff in the universe. It just sounded like another dude picking on women for enjoying something, which is something that society has done for a very long time, and I guess that's what he decided to go with when his audience is probably 80% women. And also, Matt Rife just cannot deal with backlash. If I can show it, here's a clip of him talking about the astrology shit.
If I hear one more person blame how their life is going on Mercury, I will kill you myself. Do you understand? You leave that goddamn planet alone. I am so tired of you ladies blaming your poor decision-making skills on planets that don't even know you. Get this through your head. Astrology is not this magical life guideline that predetermines your future in the stars. No, none of that. Your future is dependent by your own thoughts, opinions, and actions. You are in complete control of how your future turns out. It's not up here. It's in here the whole time. It's up to you. Has nothing to do with the stars, man. Just because Jupiter has a ring and you don't, doesn't mean that's who you're supposed to look up to for all this magical advice, man.
I found that joke really funny because he tried to save himself by being inspirational at the end there. But he's basically, when he went on that, I think it was about a 10-minute bit. It might have been more, but he sounded really angry about it. So a girl who was into astrology definitely broke this man's heart. But he just sounded angry when delivering it. And I was like, okay, can we move on to the next joke, please? It wasn't in good taste, in my opinion. Oh yeah, and then he also said that crystals aren't protecting you, the women. They're protecting me from dating girls like you who taste like kombucha. First of all, kombucha tastes good. Second of all, who are you tasting that tastes like kombucha? I always hear these weird ass jokes that dudes make, and they're like, oh, she tasted like rotten eggs and kombucha and pennies, and I was like, when? So if you haven't noticed, or if you haven't watched the special, he actually mentions wearing a cross, because he doesn't know if he believes in religion or not, but he still wears it just in case. Which I just found really ironic, because he just dogged on women for believing in astrology and the universe and the planets and all of this stuff. But you're wearing a cross. So you're telling me it's stupid for women to believe in like the universe and that planets and shit like the moon affects us, which it scientifically does, but you can believe in God. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? That no offense to anybody who's religious, believes in God, anything like that, but it's the same thing. You're both believing in something that is of a higher being. So I just thought it was really fucking ironic, dude. Okay, and this is a good one. So he ended up having this bad experience on an airplane, and then he decided to tweet the airline or something like that, and a bunch of people, he talked about how he hates Twitter and how social media is annoying and people on there are just annoying and they think they know everything, which he's right, especially Twitter. But he had tweeted something about the airline and being mad about it, and then people all of a sudden started responding to him just being annoying and rude, which, cool, okay, I get it, yeah, Twitter is fucking annoying. So this one person in particular had tweeted him like 70 times or something, he said, and this is the clip, if I'm allowed to show it. If I'm not, he basically just replied to her and called her fat. What I found funny about this bit is if you are any type of influencer or name or just big person, you should not be that celebrity or whoever if you're going to get bothered by hate comments that badly. Or you should just not go for that career in particular if those are going to bother you, because I get hate comments all the time. I've grown up getting them. They don't faze me anymore. They make me laugh. Only occasionally will you have a bad day where you respond, and that's probably what he was doing. He was having a bad day and he decided to feed into it, which you should never ever do as an influencer or a celebrity. You don't feed into it because it doesn't do anything progressive. He continued the special. He talks about hating young people because they're so rude, and then he talks about how he loves old people and he would fuck a grandma. And he goes on that for like quite a while. I think he really wants to fuck one of your grandmas, so lock your grandma somewhere safe when Matt Rife is in your city, please. Thank you. He talks about his autistic cousin, then he talks about how God evens things out because, you know, although he's autistic, he can paint really well. So then I just thought that was funny because whatever, he made fun of people who believe in the universe, but yet it's stupid when women do it. I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a stupid little feminist. As we continue, he makes a school shooter joke, which I also thought was in bad taste. And then he made that joke. He's like, still checking if you guys are cool. Like, because it's super funny to joke about school shooters. And then he makes a bunch of like cum jokes. The masturbation thing for me personally went on a little bit too long. The VHS tape porn joke, though, was a good one. That was a good one. There was some good stuff in there. There was. But like, to start off the way you did and make the jokes that you did, it was just a fucking stupid ass move, dude. Then he ended the comedy special with a motivational speech at the end, and then he said, but what do I know? I only do crowd work, right? And then mic drop, which is true, because you do only do crowd work because that Netflix special is fucking ass. Yeah, with that being said, let me know what you guys think, if you liked it, if you didn't, and if you want to go watch it, I'm just giving you a warning, it's very boring. But you might cringe, so it might be fun, you know, when you cringe watch shit. Yeah, I'll see you all next week with another video. Thank you so much. Yeah, so with all that being said, I will see you guys next week with a new video. I love you, and thank you for watching. Bye.
I mean, people don't want to laugh at like physically attractive people. Like, you don't want to walk on stage and have people looking at your arms rather than listening to your jokes. I think it just makes me work that much harder on the material and the jokes that I'm trying to tell to get people to focus on the real show at hand.